20 reasons why British people don't want Prince Charles to be king. After Queen Elizabeth II's death, King Charles III has now ascended the throne. He was the longest-serving heir apparent, but there are a lot of people who do not want him to become king. But why? Here are 20 reasons why many British people do not want Prince Charles to become king. Number 20. He's not very popular. King Charles might have been the longest-serving heir apparent in British royal history, but he's also one of the least known of all the current royals. Since private details about his marriage to Princess Diana became public knowledge, his popularity has decreased. British people would rather have some other royal become their new king. Number 19. They favor William and Kate. Prince William and Duchess Kate enjoy a significant amount of popularity in England. In fact, many wanted Prince William to take the throne after Queen Elizabeth II passed away. People believe that William has the qualities required to make an extraordinary king. He is a smart gentleman and a sensible person. He puts the needs of others before his own. At the same time, he also stands up for his beliefs. Kate, too, seems like a person with a good head on her shoulders, and they complement each other perfectly. The couple's been married for nearly a decade now. They look like a picture-perfect family with their 3 children and the fact that they've managed to avoid any scandals. Also, since these records have been kept, Princes William and Harry have been the most liked royals according to the Evening Standard. However, Prince Harry's popularity took a bit of a hit after he and Meghan stepped back from their royal duties. Number 18. They have an affinity towards Princess Diana. Princess Diana once said that she wanted to be the queen of the people's hearts. And that did become the case. Not for nothing was she called the Princess of the People. This is also a big reason why many people dislike Charles. They've not entirely forgiven him for how he treated Diana during their marriage. He had an affair with Camilla Parker Bowles while still married to Diana. He also treated Diana poorly on many occasions, with people believing that he was also quite jealous of the fact that she was more popular than him. Number 17. Many don't want to see Camilla as the new queen. Charles married Camilla in 2005, and seeing how she's the other woman, people are less inclined to see her become a queen. A majority of the people do not like the idea of Queen Camilla. In fact, a survey from BMG Research revealed that only 20% of British people think she should take the title of queen. That said, some people have warmed up to her and she's won hearts by working for charities without much publicity. She's a private person and likes to guard her privacy even though she's in a relationship that was scrutinized beyond measure. The Camillagate incident, anyone? Number 16. He doesn't have a good reputation. There have been way too many books and biographies about the lives of the royals. If you observe them carefully, Charles doesn't seem to have a very good reputation. Even those with a credible connection to the king have pointed out his flaws. Tom Bauer, the author of Rebel Prince, describes Charles as being petulant and uncaring about the times he causes harm. Some of his private matters and tantrums have also been made public, which added fuel to the fire. Number 15. They think he wouldn't do a good job. Many people feel that Charles wouldn't be a good king. The role of a reigning monarch cannot be taken lightly, and many Brits fear that Charles just doesn't have what it takes. Whether it's because of his personality traits or capabilities, people do not have the confidence that he'll do a good job. And if people do not believe in him, it will not be good for the country. Number 14. He doesn't have a very long reign. Charles is now King Charles, but his reign will inevitably be relatively short. King Charles was 3 years old when he became the heir apparent. He's now 73. He's the oldest person to ascend the throne to date. He'll have a much shorter reign, and that concerns people. Why? Because people want consistency. Consistency gives people a sense of what to expect. Number 13. He seems like a snob. Princess Diana exuded a warmth that people just don't see in Charles. He comes across as aloof, and the New Yorkers described him as a snob. Of course, it isn't fair to label him that way, seeing as how he was raised to observe protocol and proper behavior. However, he doesn't relate to ordinary people and doesn't seem to want to. When you look at William, on the other hand, he was also raised to observe protocol, but he's reached out to people just like his mother and seems compassionate. Number 12. He doesn't seem to be into animal welfare. Prince Charles is an environmentalist. He's taken a stand on major environmental issues, such as climate change and sustainability, and actively works to bring about a change. However, he falls short when it comes to animal welfare issues. In a recent incident, Prince Harry chose not to participate in a grouse hunt. But Charles has gone as far as to call fox hunting romantic, which doesn't sit well among animal activists and enthusiasts. Animal rights is also a growing topic of concern for Brits, and Charles does not win any supporters by having ideals like that. Number 11. His good works don't make headlines. One unfortunate fact about King Charles that he's not to blame for is that even though he's done a lot of good work over the years, the negative details of his life get more publicity. Charles has done a lot of good for the UK. He's been outspoken about the need to protect the environment and gives a lot of time and money to his many charities. But the media chooses to gloss over these good deeds. Number 10. He sees the monarchy in a different way. In 2010, King Charles told Vanity Fair that he sees the role of a constitutional monarch in a different way than those who have reigned before him. Now, that might be reassuring to an extent, but Charles has very vague ideas about the change that he wants to bring to the traditional role. If he were more specific about what he wants to do differently, people might be less anxious about what his reign will bring. Number 9. People see him as disloyal. Charles has a history of not being loyal to the people in his life or even to himself. First, he betrayed his love for Camilla to marry Diana. Then, when he was married to her, he betrayed Diana to carry out an extramarital affair with Camilla. He then went against his family's wishes, divorced Diana, and married Camilla in 2005. The Queen and Prince Philip did not attend the wedding. All these decisions might have been right for Charles, but the people around him didn't see it that way. And when you're a royal, you cannot think only about yourself. Loyalty is paramount when you're a monarch, so understandably, people are concerned about Charles being the king. Number 8. He seems too sensitive for the job. Kings are usually strong, influential figures and great leaders. But many people believe that Charles does not have any of those traits. In fact, people think that Charles is too sensitive and not as thick-skinned as you should be for a role like this. According to British journalist and author Petronella Wyatt, the Queen's mother, who died in 2002, described him as very sensitive but spoiled and used to getting his own way. While he may still be a good king, people believe kings need to be tough and strong, something Charles does not appear to be. Number 7. He's not the best father. The future king is not the best parent. After his son Harry's interview, Charles' caliber as a father has come under the scrutiny of the people. Shortly after Prince Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle, they quit life as working royals, moved to California, and made some ugly accusations against the royal family. Harry blames his dad, saying he felt his son should suffer as he had, handing down a cycle of genetic pain and suffering. He said that Charles cut him off financially and stopped taking his calls at one stage. Number 6. He only cares about his own opinions. Charles might be sensitive, but he's incredibly stubborn as well. According to a New Yorker article, Charles is not very interested in opinions that are not in line with his own. He does only what he wants and does not listen to the advice of others. The chief executive of one of Charles' charities, Michael Fawcett, resigned after being accused of promising a billionaire Saudi donor a knighthood. Many advisors had warned Charles about Mr. Fawcett, but Charles was stubborn and hung on to him. This incident showed two of Charles' most significant weaknesses: stubbornness and a lack of judgment about people, qualities that would not be appreciated in a monarch. When you're a monarch, you must listen to your advisors and make the decision that suits everybody, even if it's not your own. Number 5. His own father didn't believe in him. Charles' own father did not believe in him. Prince Philip considered his son degenerate and spoiled. Charles was not very good at team sports. He did not even enjoy horseback riding lessons, which was a hobby close to Elizabeth's heart. Prince Philip had a rough childhood, so he wanted to toughen up his oldest son. Charles, however, had a completely different childhood and was born in comfort and luxury. He loved architecture and gardening, and that wasn't what Philip expected from him, so they never really had a connection. People are skeptical about Charles as a king because they feel that if his own parents had doubts about him, then why wouldn't the population? Number 4. He had a tough childhood. Charles had a tough childhood. Apparently, his childhood was quite lonely and heartbreaking. Prince Philip was an alpha male, and those tendencies were seen as he bullied his own children. Charles was a victim of bullying not just from his father but also at school. Charles, being sensitive, did not handle bullying well. Stereotypically, people want a king to be an alpha male, although that idea is quite outdated. But Charles was the opposite. He used to get beaten up at school. He was picked on and made fun of for his protruding ears and even for being a royal. These incidents are bound to leave a scar, and people wonder if these scars ever went away. Number 3. Many claim he's spoiled. Of course, when you're the prince, there's no doubt that you'll receive special treatment. Charles has always been the chosen one, which has spoiled him to a certain extent. He was even dubbed the pampered prince by his staff. According to page 6, every single thing needs to be in a precise order, right down to his shoelaces. He had very particular demands, and the staff must ensure that he gets them. Charles has also lived a very lavish lifestyle. He's always accompanied by his butler, 2 valets, a private secretary, a chef, a typist, and a handful of bodyguards. Once he demanded the use of the royal train to go to a pub in Penrith, a small town in England. The trip allegedly cost £18,916. He also spends fortunes on 1 or 2 day trips because he refuses to travel without his private jet or plane. Number 2. Charles has been a part of many public scandals. King Charles has been involved in a lot of scandals as a prince. Firstly, his unfaithfulness to Princess Diana was a massive strike against him. The Camilla Gate incident caused a lot of problems for the royal family. He was also a part of a controversy related to donations to his charities. According to reports, Charles accepted a payment of £1 million from the family of Osama bin Laden. In June this year, it was also reported that Charles took €3 million from the Qatari Prime Minister, Sheikh Hamad bin Jassim bin Jaber Al Thani, as donations to his charitable fund between 2011 and 2015. He was also accused of trying to influence the British government after it was revealed that he also received confidential papers about the inner workings of the British government. Charles even managed to be a part of the controversy surrounding the Paradise Papers, where his name came up among people who had stashed their wealth in safe tax havens. Number 1. People want the monarchy to be abolished. Monarchy originated along with colonialism. In today's world, most countries don't feel the need to have a royal as the automatic head of state. Queen Elizabeth II reigned for 70 years and provided a sense of stability to millions of people. However, her rule started when colonialism was still largely in practice. However, even before the Queen's death, some countries had expressed that their time with the monarchy should end. Her death could hasten the efforts of a few countries to think about the future of their relationship with the British Crown. It's also a good reason to abolish monarchy now. Do you like King Charles III? Do you think he'll make a good king? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and share. Subscribe to our channel for more such content.